Good morning, y'all. If you read the description, then you saw that your girl went to sleep last night thinking that it was Sunday night and that I was waking up on Monday morning. But Spirit woke my ass up in the middle of the night with the message. And then, I don't know if you can see this, I had to get up in the middle of the night because I could not go back to sleep. Your girl was, I was stuck. I was told to let you know we're going to be doing things backwards today. I'm going to start with my constellation cards. Like, I woke up late because I thought, Libra, evaluate. I thought that it was Monday. I woke up at 6 something, 6:30, I think it was 6:33. And right now, All the Things She Said by Gatlin is playing. Before that, it was Wayne Wonder, No Letting Go. Got somebody, she is a beauty, very special, really and truly, takes good care of me, like it's her duty, want her right by my side, night and day, no letting go, no holding back. Woo! I feel like I'm not supposed to tell y'all about the dream, all of it yet. First was Libra. Evaluate. Here we have Scorpius. Punish. I hope somebody watched this one. Well, when the Holy Spirit wants somebody to come and see it, they'll watch it. In that I have faith. Triangulum. Feminine. And fuck these nails. I'm not apologizing for the nails. I'm not like she done told me to stop doing that. I come how I come. This is just an avatar. This is just a manifestation of my cute ass soul. It needs no dressing up. Sextons. Plot. Fornax. Anger. Okay, now I feel like I'm supposed to start telling y'all about the dream I had. I was in LSU, not as a student, because I don't know if y'all know this. I don't know how long you've been here. Canis Minor? Yes, loyalty. So, y'all, I dropped out of high school. I was a very internally troubled teen. And not for no reason. I had my bullshit with me. My mother would say, I got it by rights. And at 16, I was running from my shadow. I did not know at all what to do with it. I was just self-destructing. Well, this relates. Because I had a best friend, and I suppose he still is, although we've fallen out of contact. Because when I started my spiritual journey in earnest about 4 years ago, somewhere in that time, I bared my soul on a post of his, and I said how I feel about critical theory. Basically, the ideas proliferated by communists in order to demoralize the capitalist West through ideas. Ooh, lupus, wisdom, that rabbit, Pardon me while I have a sip. Time, horologium, and then the last, analyze. And that feels as though it's wrapping up. I'll show you in just a moment after I've made room. Analyze. Lord, I'm so excited. Pictor. Reveal. Is it just me? Just above me. Something like a dreamscape. I gave you a dreamscape. Alright. What will we get for music? I think right now, The Buzz by Hermitude, perhaps? That's Weezer. I'm right. The Buzz by Hermitude. Look. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. And here, pardon me, The Whitest Boy Alive, and the song that resonates there is The Burning. That's what it's called. A song that I had to look up and download on my 30 gig iPod back in the day. Okay, back in the day, because it was at the end, it was in the credits of Silent Hill. This is so many. But I'm going to read them though. First is Storm of the Century. I'll show. That was a screenplay written by Stephen King about a demon that rides into, Lord, that rides into a small Maine town, telling them that they need to put their, I believe, their firstborn children into a lottery, which is crazy. Because here on my arm says loss of the firstborn. We cooking. Spawn. Did I tell you after Far and Away was Bicentennial Man? Spawn. And here we have Inherit the Wind, also in reverse. We'll see, we'll see. And in the end, ooh, I don't need to put those back. But what I do need to do is flip this over. Jason and the Argonauts. When the Perseid meteor showers were coming through, that was everywhere. All up and through my readings. All right. Oh, let me continue as I'm shuffling. Well, I had been invited to LSU. I believe that's the college in Florida, which is where my bestie was attending. And the school was huge. My grandmother was there. My grandmother has been passed for about 5-6 years now. But my grandmother was there. I've been missing her something terrible. So many posts have been speaking of Tauruses, and one in particular is speaking about how they are alchemists, toxicologists, Ten of Pentacles, and how they know how to transmute energy into love for the people that they care for. Three of Wands. And how they typically don't believe in just eating anybody's food. My grandma was so like that. And I said this in a post just yesterday, she refused to eat just anybody's food. She was a great cook. She always had what I loved, justice. In the pantry, in the fridge. And it wasn't just me. I have always had particular tastes, which she helped to cultivate in me. I'm an Aries North Node. I'm from a military family. 2 generations. My people loved me very much. They had burdens, but they laid them down for me. I am my father's firstborn child, my mother's second. Well, in this dream, my friend had called us to come and spend some time. Somehow there was a dorm room that we could stay in. I suppose it was like a visitor's dorm. And I got to give a shout out to all of the readers who helped me get to this point spiritually. I am the healthiest spiritually that I have probably ever been in my life. Happiness, compassion, trust in the universe, high-minded optimism. 9 of Cups. Well, I wandered away from my dorm room and got lost in this school as I was on the phone with the Hourglass. She's a tarot reader. She was live, and somehow I was speaking to her on the phone as she was live. I don't know how that was working. Dream logic, y'all follow me. Well, I was walking around speaking with her, talking and giggling and listening to her reading, and I realized that I was in a 10 of Cups. I was in a complex cafeteria, 2 or 3 stories tall, with all manner of Taco Bell and McDonald's and students walking around everywhere. These are all in reverse. Okay. Let me hold it up. The Wheel of Fortune. That's 4 different 10s here. I'll go for one more. We also have 11, which is justice, which is a 2, and also this 4. It's 2-2. Well, I told her I need to get off. I need to get off of this phone so that I can figure out where I am. Sweetness, gentleness, reflective self-exploration, intuition, kindness, and sensitivity. And y'all, I was so nervous and I felt so out of place. And I felt so small. And I did not feel as though I was a peer among peers. But I had faith, even then, that things would be okay. The Wheel of Fortune again. Queen of Pentacles again. Well, I ended up running into people who knew him and had seen me because I knew him. And I asked them, if they know where Robbie is. Another 2. high priestess. And they were busy, you know, they were on their way to and from classes, to and from study. Song Moonlight just started playing by Gao Lin, who is deceased. Appreciate you, Gao Lin, the emperor. But I could feel the vibe. They didn't really fuck with me. They didn't really like me. And I wasn't sure if he had said things that perhaps gave him the wrong impression of me. Another Page of Cups. Triumph. Like when I get done with this, I've been told that I have to share this, which is tender for me. I'm 8th house moon rabbit for a reason. I don't share everything with everyone. But onward. I feel like I need one more of these. And although I felt the vibe that they didn't really want to be bothered with me, I tried to get what information I could from who I could as they were shuffling off and leaving me lost in this multiplex cafeteria that seemed to get bigger as I was moving around it. And I was definitely more and more lost. It was impossible for me to get to where I was going just by, you know, feeling. Many times when I thought I was lost. Many times when I thought I was lost. This is the Empress and the Queen of Cups. My intuition guided me through. And I went where I was trying to go without trying at all. The Star. Healing. As I said, I had gotten the impression that either he had down-talked me or up-talked me. And either way, they wasn't feeling me. So I tried to take a moment to calm myself. I went and I sat down in this little lounge area. But I knew that my grandma would be worried about me. And so I knew I couldn't just sit there and play it cool, you know? And so I had to speak up, and I told someone that I was lost. And there was a man there, and he said, "You don't tell people that you're lost. Anybody could do anything to you. In fact, somebody could follow you back to your room." And while he wasn't entirely wrong, he also had a vibration. And the vibration was a threat, and I don't take kindly to those. And so I just looked him in his eyes and I said, "We'll see." And everyone there felt it, and they felt me, and they felt him, and they acknowledged it. And he backed off, and he melted back into the group of people. And after that, I figured, since nobody really had the help that I needed, because they didn't know where I was trying to go, they couldn't help me get there. Here we have L. Goulding, Major Laser, powerful. And so I run into a group of women. And before I can even speak, one of the older women there says, "Hey, honey, are you lost?" And calm, you know, gratitude rushed over me. And I just said, you know, yes, I have no idea where I am. I'm trying to get back to my grandma. And I believe my father was also there. Maybe even my mother. I feel like there was 3 of us, but I'm not sure which 3. And as I'm talking to this woman, I'm trying not to cry, because it'll be hard for me to speak clearly if this happens. She puts her hand on the table, because we're sitting in a cafeteria-like place. She sticks her hand across in that way that you know somebody is trying to let you hold their hand. And I just got one of her fingers, and I swear this woman must have been an old co-worker of mine that I can't even remember. Cindy. Cindy was a very old woman who was working at Shoney's, which was my first job. I didn't think that was going to come back to me. And she let me hold her hand, and she told me, you know, it's going to be fine. And she gave me an idea of where I should go to look for where I needed to be. And, you know, she asked me, you know, who are you here for? Because I had told her that I'm not a student here, you know. Basically, I don't even really belong here. And she said, you know, something like you belong wherever you're at. And I had told her in the dream, and I think this is what woke me up, that he is one of my best friends that I've ever had, and that when my grandmother died, mind you, in the dream, my grandmother was at a dorm room waiting for me. When my grandmother died, he came home to help me bury her. And that's when I woke up. And then after that, I just laid there, stunned, in my bed, you know. Things were coming together. Usually I forget my dreams practically before I even wake up. The King of Wands was the first. Death. Justice again. Trying to fall back asleep, but I couldn't because messages just kept coming. It was like you knew your grandma was dead in the dream, but somehow she was also still there. So I know this Sunday, which I woke up on thinking that it was a Monday, sure that I was late for my reading, didn't know how because I set an alarm. Girl, I was so discombobulated. I couldn't go to sleep until I hopped my ass up out of bed and got gel pens and wrote the note on myself because I'm not good with taking notes on paper. The papers always get fucking misplaced. The Tower. Thank you for joining me. Whew. I see you and I appreciate you. Papers get lost. They get destroyed. And frankly, the process of writing it down helps me remember anyway. But way back in the beginning of my first journey alongside my shadow, which is very important to me, the High Priestess and the Two of Cups again. You see this? The High Priestess and the Two of Cups. Way back when I started wrestling with my shadow, I had no idea how to integrate it, and it just made me feel stupid and dirty and small and unlike everybody else who just seemed to be living, you know, living and able to go to school and not feel the vibration of all the things that nobody wants to deal with or talk about, unlike me. The moon again. Can you see? With Cosmo, the forgotten dog. The Page of Cups now for the third time, I believe, in this reading. But even then, something that I knew was that I was here for a reason. And no matter the A's that I didn't make, the words that I hadn't found out how to say yet, I knew I couldn't go anywhere. That's where the anger started. Feeling trapped. Nine of Pentacles. And not knowing how to transmute that, I did many things with it. But I stayed alive. I pushed forward. And every year I lived, my faith woke up a bit more. Because how the fuck? Ten of Wands again. How could anybody live with that without the blessing of God? I slowly began to feel the beginning seeds of that victory inside myself. Well, let's get to what else God has had to say since The dream is wrapped up. Hygeia and Venus. Hygeia is the purifier. And Venus is the goddess of love. These came out together. And again, the solar eclipse. I feel like there's not been a time that I picked up this deck, and I haven't seen, the purifier. This solar or lunar. Yes, it was a solar eclipse each time. Put those right there. And see, this is what I've been waiting for. What angel will lead and which will watch our asses? Respectfully, always. Well, as I was laying there, the Holy Spirit told me, in the way that I get things, I don't have an inner voice, much of an inner voice, unless I am trying to figure out what I want to express with my voice, or I need to process something that takes words. And usually it's pictures, it's sounds, it's books and narratives. Like a whole story will be something that has symbolism for me, and there'll be something that is a key that unlocks a door for me. That's how my mind works. So while some people have no inner voice, that's how mine works. Visions. And she told me, in her way, which works very well for me, that, don't do that. I want to know who's at the bottom. Time. Time. Snow is here. So I feel like we maybe have something to look forward to for the winter. But now we've seen it all, y'all. All right? Whew. So, I covered Grandma. I've covered, who's this? Oh, the Plague of Darkness, Immateriality. All right. So, I do not believe that these things are irrelevant, because now we have gotten around to, I've got the High Priestess twice. I've got Justice twice. I've got Death. I've got the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is a time when people really need to tap into their faith. When I say really need to, I mean like you never did before in your whole life. I've been told that if you need a sign because you don't really believe in God, you don't really believe in the Holy Spirit, to go ahead and get that. Because when the Hebrews needed that protection, after the plague of darkness, the darkness that was so thick, so deep that it could be touched. I listen to the biblical lectures every Monday, so there's going to be another one coming tomorrow by Jordan B. Peterson, and if you are interested, go and check that out. I'm all about esoteric wisdom. One of the things that caused me to get up out of bed and write this is that my left eye started hurting. And the minute that I got the epiphany that the Holy Spirit was that darkness, and then the 10th, that was the ninth and the 10th plagues. The ninth was the darkness that was palpable. Because when the Holy Spirit wants to put that pressure on you, you feel it and you move. You move how you move. By that time, it's too late. I don't know what's coming. I don't know if it's going to be some catastrophe physically, like this tower might suggest, but these wheels of fortune are telling me that I need to gather my people up. I don't always have the words. I am no not Moses, but I'm also not Levi. I'm somewhere in the middle. I can't speak it to everybody so that they hear it. But she told me that yes, pretty much, there is a God, there is a goddess, and neither one of them has told us that there is a hierarchy between those. They are two and they are one at once. The understanding and the respect between them is something that everybody else is just going to have to learn how to understand. And it's something that below we're going to have to figure out how to catch the vision and make that happen in our lives internally and how we treat others. Pardon me. But the taking of the firstborn, I believe that's because she is the one who puts that spark of soul into us. I believe that Lucifer was the firstborn angel. You know, the prince of the air. I mean, y'all know all of the accoutrements, but I believe that perhaps that's why they rearranged the order and the body was made and then the spirit placed inside of it, because the firstborn was not constructed that way and therefore got ahead of himself. This placement, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and I have another Six of Wands, and look at this. Look up underneath this. Wow. Wow. Underneath that is the heartbreak. I saw, and you saw, at the bottom of the deck, the Six of Wands. But then look at this sullen ass Seven of Pentacles, who is also the devil in this deck. And then look at the Wheel of Fortune again, up underneath that. And then look at Temperance and the King of Pentacles again. Y'all. And to show you, it just keeps going. Then the Three of Swords and the Lovers and the Three of Wands. I feel like the story of Job. People ask, why did God do that? Well, wouldn't you do that for your child? Wouldn't you give the best effort that you could to bring your child back into the fold of that which is right, good, aligned, holy, perfect? Well, I think this is the opportunity that we're getting here. It was given to me. I know I'm going to be all right for the rest of my days. So I have to share this with joy in my heart, y'all. This Sunday morning. Woo! I believe that's their child, and they wish and they want for all of us with that spirit, which started there and perhaps might be ending soon, to go ahead and evaluate, because it's time to analyze and get this wisdom. And while my left eye hurt, I'm pretty sure that the left eye is Shakma? No, the left eye is Bina, and I believe the right eye is Shakma, and Bina is knowledge, while Shakma is wisdom. Here you are, and let's find your paired. There you are. Y'all always help me out. I can only give knowledge. I can only give facts. But wisdom is when you process it yourself and you know you know. Nobody can give that to you. Nobody can prove what is faith-based. And I believe that wisdom is an extension. It's a branch on the tree of faith. You can climb on a branch and make your way to the tree. And I think that's what it is. It's a pathway. And it's time to reveal the pathway. I am not the source of it. I, like a magpie, have been going through my life with very little material, anything to show for my soul. People have always had to acknowledge it and then feel the wisdom of it. And when that has happened, I have always felt the most loved that I ever have in material. Whew. And in order to help remember these things, I asked Metatron, who was the only man to not die and be made an angel. And how that works, I don't know. But again, I have faith that it did. And I don't like to talk myself up, but I'm something like an Eli. In the book of Eli, I believe that the words in the Bible, especially, have so much knowledge that can be transferred into wisdom. And it has for me. I'm ashamed at this point that I haven't read more, but there's plenty of books that I've wanted to read and I haven't gotten around to it. It's taken a lot to sort out the shit show that broils around my spirit. The burning. And here we have Modest Mouths, Float On. And underneath that, Jay-Z in reverse. And I don't know if y'all know of his affinity for satanic leaning symbolism. And that's really what it is, y'all. It's not an accusation, it's facts. As well as the do as thou wilt. I wouldn't suggest that you just do as you wilt out here. I really wouldn't. You feel it. You think that, and I don't mean to disgrace Venus as the goddess of love, but Venus is the morning star. Do you think that Satan doesn't regret? It's a ruse. Misery loves company, y'all. You can get to a point where the misery becomes like a force in itself. And I imagine that the misery that Satan, Lucifer, would have experienced is something that has become palpable, almost like the darkness of his mother. But I, here, a regular ass, lowly ass, flesh being that's from war people, and on one side of my family, and orphans, and mentally disturbed on the other side, I have been put here at this time to express to you that the Holy Spirit is real. The Holy Spirit has an abundance of love. Love on a level that it's like love doesn't even feel like the right word. It's purity. To share with us. If you only spin the wheel, if you only accept it first, give her due. Damn it. What? Give her respect. And through that respect, give the divine feminine the part that she has breathed into all of us. And she sure did not have to. None of these beings got to do shit for us. They never did. Everything they do for us is a blessing. Every way that we are not suffering is a blessing. With all of the suffering that has been manifested into this 3D, Be proud of yourself for where you are and where you still can go until the breath of life is taken back out of your body and placed where it needs to be after that point. I have nothing but open hands with which to give and receive. And I am so happy that you who have come this morning have showed up. And I hope that you got what you needed. I love you. Good morning.